Well, a clear case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration, where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Well, we're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted, so we're taking that on. We have a zero tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
It's amazing. And you have a lot of that. We found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud. Now, there was a contract that you've heard about where Stacey Abrams got $2 billion just before we took over, and it was a...
As far as we are hearing a lot about fraud, waste, and abuse, a lot of waste and abuse, but there is a tremendous amount of fraud. And Elon, thank you for your partnership. Thank you for your team. You have uncovered so much fraud in our government, and we will prosecute you. We have an internal task force now working with every agency sitting here at this table. And if you've committed fraud, we're coming after you. Thank you, Elon, for that. On the violent crime level, thanks to President Trump's directive, we are seeking the death penalty again. So all of these horrible, violent criminals that you're hearing about around the country, they will face the death penalty federally within our country. And the drug dealers need to get out of here because we are coming after you. We're going to have 94 great U.S. attorneys around this country, and everyone will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Thank you.
Thank you, President. Is that your...
Want to really see something that said, take a look at what happened.
Hey. Why this beat so cold?
We will make America proud again. And you try to we will make America wealthy again. And yes, together, we will make America great again.
You just can't make this up right here. No. And it's like everything, you talk about transparency, right? This administration is a night and day difference from the previous administration, man. Everything is broadcasted live. I mean, we see what's actually happening, what they're talking about, and bam. Elon Musk, while wearing a Trump was right about everything hat, says that him and DOGE have uncovered $330 million in SBA loans to children under 11 years old. The youngest was a 9-month-old, or not. Well, you can't. A 9-month-old who received an $100,000 loan. Elon Musk exposes SBA loan fraud to children. This is trending worldwide right now. You just can't make this up, man. Talk about transparency. And then you know what's crazy? They're not mad at the ones exposing all this, or they're mad at the ones exposing all this, but not the ones, you know. That's what kills me. They're mad at the ones exposing all this. And I told y'all, man, we are rooting from the Trump administration, Trump, Elon Musk. Prayers to him, man. We're rooting for the American First agenda to drain the swamp. This is what we're rooting for. This is what we voted for, man. What's going on, family? I hope everybody is blessed, well, and healthy. Don't give a damn where you're from, what your age is, what your skin color is. We got love for you. I am wishing the best in all you guys' life. We are bringing the best updates, the breaking news, the truth. You know, people don't trust the media and they don't trust the legacy media, the mainstream media anymore. We are the media. You know, all the lies, the fear mongering, the fake headlines, the bias. You know, the fear-mongering that's happening right now, the mental illness that we have in this country, Trump derangement syndrome, Musk derangement syndrome, they got Tesla derangement syndrome, and now look at the stock now. Look what's happening now. Ooh.
Well, in a case of fraud was with the Small Business Administration where they were handing out loans, $330 million worth of loans to people under the age of 11. I think the youngest, Kelly, was a 9-month-old who got a $100,000 loan. That's a very precocious baby we're talking about here.
Well, we're tackling the fraud, waste, and abuse in the agency. We've seen, hundreds of billions of dollars of fraud go unprosecuted, so we're taking that on. We have a zero-tolerance policy for fraud, and we continue to crack down on it and make sure people are held accountable.
It's amazing. And you have a lot of that. You found far too much of it. It's a pure fraud. We like to use the words waste and abuse because they sort of sound good, but many of these things are pure fraud.
Night and day difference, man. But love what Trump said on Elon Musk as well today as well. I want to play this too.
I have to tell you, I want to thank you all, and Elon, I want to thank you. I know you've been through a lot with this horrible situation that happens.
That's right. Saving America.
It's very unfair. What he is a patriot. Here's a man that I can tell you, he's a friend of mine. He's become a friend of mine. He supported me in the election. That's when I got to know him, really. I knew him a little bit from the first term, but not much. But he's a patriot more than anything else. He's never, think of it, he has never asked me for a thing. He could have. I always say, I wonder if he's ever going to ask me for something. And that's always subject to change, and if it does change, I'll let you know about it. But Elon has never asked me for a thing. I mean, I got rid of the electric car mandate. I have no idea how that affects him, but possibly not good. I don't know. But he's never asked me for a thing. And I think that's an amazing tribute. I did get activated last week when I saw what they were doing. I said, he makes an incredible product, and we're going to go out and tell people you can't do that stuff and support him. They got to support him, because if he wasn't doing this, he wouldn't have any of these difficulties. And I think it's getting less and less. Pam has done a great job with regard to all of the, I know the kind of investigations that are going on. If she finds them, which she will, she already found 4 of them. But I think they're going to suffer very grave consequences, because they're really terrorists when you think about it. They're terrorists at a high level. And I think the people that are financing them, they could very well be people I know, people that you write about. But those people are in big trouble, so they better cut it out. But Elon's a patriot. We want to thank you very much for the job you're doing. Thank you very much.
Love that, man. And also Elon says no more loans to babies or people too old to be alive. Stolen social security numbers, and as of right now, it requires the SBA Gov requires date of birth collection for all direct loan applications, pauses the direct loan process for those under 18 or above 120 years old. Basics, sending checks like this are intentional steps towards minimizing fraud in government payment programs. But it's all coming out, you guys. Told y'all, man. And I love is Trump was right about. We need to figure out where can we order the Trump is right about everything hat. I definitely want to get one. But it's time for people to be held accountable, man. Hands behind your back. I'm ready for it, man. A disgrace, man. But again, Tom, and you see everything that has came out with Doge and Elon Musk and what they've exposed, man. And it just really kills me that people aren't that. We do have a lot of people, Americans, that are hotter than fish grease right now. But then it's the other side. They're not mad about who did the corruption or what. They're mad about the ones exposing the corruption. That's what really draws the line for me, man. Elon Musk says the Doge team is getting death threats every single day. They're just trying to do the right thing for the American taxpayer and the American people. This is absolutely sick. We need an all government response to find those responsible. But You just can't make this up, man. You know, and these people have lost their mind. These activists, these Democrats, and then they got AOC and Bernie Sanders going out there, and come to find that they got caught and busted. Their fake rally, you know, and these anti-Tesla, anti-Doge protesters are being paid. You know, just look here for yourself.
Yeah, I get paid to be out here.
You get paid to be out here?
Yeah.
Amazing. So some pack.
You really are getting paid for this?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Oh, definitely. 100% I'm getting paid for this.
You know, Act Blue. I mean, just a complete scam. These frauds and fakes, man. Nothing's organic. Nothing's authentic, real with these Democrats. You know, same people bust in and paid for at the Scamala Kamala rallies. You know, people can't think for themselves, and we, again, are still fighting against the media. They can't tell the truth. One reason why we have this mental illness going on in this country, people, they just can't tell the truth. It's been lie after lie after lie, biased reporting, the fear mongering, fake news. You know, just can't make this up, man. RFK said.
I'm very grateful to you and very grateful for the partnership with DOGE and with Elon. We've identified extraordinary waste in my department and HHS. The expenditures, the budget of HHS during the Biden administration went up by 38%. The employees went up by 17%, and healthcare went down. We have 40 comms departments. We have 40 procurement departments. We have 40 IT departments, and we have 40 procurement, HR, none of them talking to each other. We are, with Elon's help, eliminating the redundancies. We are streamlining our department. We're going to go back to providing gold standard science. We're going to get the money to the scientists and to the patients rather than to the administrators and to the bureaucrats. And we're going to restore gold standard science, and we're going to make America healthy again.
Thank you, man.
This is what we voted for, man. The people spoke loud and clear, man. You know, we got these activist judges, radical left. You know, they think they can outrank the president, you know. People, and then people get on fake news CNN. And this is one reason why we have this mental illness going on. You know, they say this stuff out to audiences that Elon Musk, that we're Nazis, that we're garbage. You know, that he's an incompetent thief. And I'm glad that this Mr. Fire Alarm got a fat lawsuit. Elon Musk sent him a fat lawsuit and CNN. They ought to shut CNN down. You know. Bill Maher and Andrew Schultz agree that Elon Musk's intentions with Doge and the government is not for financial gain. That's absolutely correct. When you're a CEO of an American company that hires American workers, it is in your best interest that your employees and customers are thriving.
I am a little bit more optimistic about the intentions of the administration. It doesn't mean it's going to work out, but I don't think that Musk is trying to get richer.
No,
like I think
he's definitely not. I've always defended him.
And I'm glad to hear this out of Bill Maher's mouth. And we know what type of timing he's on and how deranged he is, you know. But then again, he always somewhat speaks a little bit of truth, and then you know, he backpedals and makes a fool out of himself, you know. But it always comes out. That little truth always comes out, man. And we've seen that a lot this past election, you know, a whole lot this past election with Bill Maher. And I even got into an argument with one of my family members on Elon Musk. He just trying to make himself richer. But again, he's a Trump hater, you know. And he watches the CNN and all the other crap. Can't think for himself, you know. He's gonna take our. I think he took my Social Security. I think he took my rights away. Oh, I think he took my rights away, y'all. Rick, he took my rights away, man. How do you support these people? Idiots, man. Deranged.
that Musk is trying to get richer.
No.
Like, I think
he's definitely not. I've always defended him on that. He does not care about money.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, he's got all the money. Like, I think he thinks that this actually
I
will
know,
help America. Like,
I've been with him at times, and he did not have a house.
Yeah,
he was like staying at a friend's house.
It doesn't
like
matter to him.
He will sleep on the couch.
Yeah.
Or sleep at the Tesla factory as he did to get that going. I think he brags about, we work the weekends. Let's have pizza at 1 a.m. and keep working and then sleep here.
Yeah.
He's an engineer. That's what turns him on.
And I respect that.
But
I think it's important.
Y'all don't understand how much I love conversations like this. And I love that they get blown up and go viral. This is what needs to go viral. Stuff like this, man. And a lot of people don't even know those kind of stories from Elon Musk. And again, I know because, again, I'm a huge Tesla, Elon Musk supporter. I've been supporting Elon Musk for years now. And I read a lot of articles and books on his, on his story. And that guy's, that's one hell of a guy, I tell you, man. I've been a Tesla owner for the last 5 years. Amazing vehicles, amazing technology, man. And the man has put a lot on the line, And right now he is getting treated very unfair and dragged through the mud. But this all trickles back down to the Democrats and the fake news media. But what do you guys think, man? How are you guys feeling? Hope you're doing well. Again, more fraud and more corruption is being exposed every single day, man. We're getting exactly what we voted for. It's all coming out. And I told y'all, be ready. Your jaws are going to drop. Your eyebrows are going to be raised. That more is going to be exposed every single day. And this is the Trump administration. Full transparency. There's cameras everywhere, covering every bit of conversations, everything. Here it is, man. We're getting this with this administration, and we're hearing from everybody. Now, I think they need to be a little more. I think we still being a little bit too soft, But we're getting exactly what we voted for, man. He's doing exactly what he campaigned on, The Democrats are in a ditch. I don't have a leader, They go out, I think they can get that our rally is bigger than Trump. We can bring in 30,000 people. And then it's 20,000 people. And then out of those 20,000 people, you get caught and busted. And most of them have been to protest events. Bust into Kamala events, funded by, just a bunch of frauds and fakes, man. Nothing's organic, Disgrace, man. But I am here for this, man. This is absolutely ridiculous, that 300 million. And again, the fraud is way worse than this, and we all know this. So I said, be ready, because your jaws are going to keep dropping as we get more data, more news to come out, and more discoveries of what they're finding. But loans to people under the age of 11, man, they don't even, people at the age of 11. I didn't even know what a loan was. Just saying. Just be honest. Did you know? Comment down below. Did you know what a loan was at the age of 11? But we know what's happening, Again, the swamp is still alive down there, man. Fraudulent checks are still being, it's all still happening, man. People worth millions and millions of dollars. Millions of dollars. $1 million homes. On $100,000 salary. Our taxpayer, our money. People with their hands in the cookie jar. Spent on ridiculous programs that we have no idea what it even is and it's for. this is why we voted, man. This is what we voted for. Here it is. Well, I'm not gonna make this a crazy long video. Just wanted to get the point out, man. And this is what's happening, you know. And here it is, y'all. You know. And I'm ready for somebody to be held accountable. I'm ready for people to be arrested and thrown in jail, man. I really am. Put your hands behind your back, you know. But I'm really want to send my prayers out to Elon Musk and DOGE, Trump, and President and Trump's administration, man. You know, as loans to children under 11 years old. Who cashed these checks? Them patriots know. They know who's cashing these checks. Put your hands behind your back.